Well, nope, can't play those. Dragonshire Towers of Doom were played first. Infernal Shrines for game number 3. And we are going to Cursed Hollow for game number 4.
All right, Cursed Hollow. Let's see. Good map for these guys to kind of, you know, flesh each other's kind of strategies out. I think the beGenius should go down the same path we saw in that previous game. You know, change up that draft from game 1 and 2 to then game 3. Bring more of that power. Get Kira on Li Ming if you want. Even have a Thrall in there. I think that's a winning combination that they have more strength against playing Ducks with.
Yeah, they played really well with that comp. And there's a couple things to start thinking about. Is we're starting to get game number 4, but we're starting to see these heroes bubble up in the matchup that are really strong for both teams. Falstad, obviously, as they pick up 4 Sports Billy and 1 that's strong on this battleground. And then you have Li Ming for Kirwa, which is a hero that we've seen Chris shrine on time and time again. So suddenly we're going to go in the draft here, and we're going to have these heroes now that we're going to try and edge each other out on and see what we're going to go into. So here it is. It is draft time. Cursed Hollow. First pick here will be for our team on the right, I do believe. I'm sorry, on the left, Playing Ducks will get the first ban.
All right, so Ragnaros, maybe, unless they want it, or Dahaka could be a good ban. Although they've been more preferencing the Dahaka than a beGenius, so maybe the Ragnaros.
If you ban on Dahaka and you're not wanting to play him, then you're opened up to pick your Ragnaros, because they have to pick between Tass or Ragnaros to ban out.
It's either or.
Yeah, so it's Playing Ducks deciding if they want to go with that route. Do we want to move into the Molten Core capabilities, or do we want to play our standard straight-up game?
Ooh. 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 All right, then. So, limiting some of that boss control and all those paths with Holy Ground later on Sanctification. Cool.
Yeah, I think that's mainly the call here, is you want to be able to go for boss calls, so giving material prevents that from being something that beGenius will take away. And we've seen in the past, beGenius goes for that material, and they like to mix it in with Arthas if they're given the chance. So that makes sense. It also opens up Playing Ducks that if they see an opportunity in the 3rd and 4th slot, they could go for wombo combos. The Sanctification is one of the best counters to preventing those from happening.
It makes me think that Playing Ducks just want to get Falstad on Sport Billy on Falstad again, because when it comes to boss control, there's certain things you look for. I think Tyrael is the be-all, end-all. He is God tier, and then Falstad is just slightly a rung under that. So they don't want to have to contest with that if it's to kind of come down to it.
Yeah, that Mighty Gush just too powerful around those boss calls, especially with 2 being on the field. Tassadar has the immediate ban here. I feel like that was already selected for beGenius. It is more talking about the rest of their draft there, so using their timers wisely, a strategy that you will have to use in drafts. So now we go to the first picks. Do you go for the Falstad? Ragnaros is up.
I think yes. I think with how well Sports Billy has played the past 2 games, even though they lost that game, but, you know, he was making the plays. Oh, but ETC. Okay, then.
Well, beGenius now on this side. Now, what would be phenomenal for me if I saw beGenius pick up Ragnaros and Falstad here? Oh, that would be the hardest of punishes if they went that route, but we'll see as their choices are here. There's also the Tychus available, too. So there's a lot to be thinking about for this team. Tychus, Falstad, Ragnaros. However, we did have Ragnaros picked up a little bit on the later side, if I remember correctly, in game number 1. So it might be a hero that these teams just don't prioritize as much.
Yeah, we had it in game 1, but then in 2 and 3, it's not been as much of an issue. Tychus is my go-to choice there, and then following up with Malfurion is where I would think they would go next, unless they just want to prioritize all their damage right now.
Yeah, Malfurion's been their go-to for this series and the series last week, so it could be their second pickup as well. They just seem to really be on top of that hero. There is the Ragnaros choice. Now, Playing Ducks, I think you snap pick up Falstad here, and then maybe Li Ming, actually, for Chris. It's one that he's played often in the past, and it takes it away from Kira, which Kira was just devastating.
Yeah,
in the last match.
Yeah, it could. But yeah, I think taking the Falstad, or even Falstad Malf itself as well. Although that being said, it's been Rehgar, Brightwing, Rehgar for Playing Ducks, so maybe they don't care too much about the Malfurion.
Yeah, they've shown some variety with the supports. I think they're willing to leave it to the 4th and 5th slot for this match, at least. We've seen them pick it out of the 3rd slot, but
it's funny because it's been a change really for them from week 1 to week 2. I think a lot of people in Europe probably took a step back after trying to see what everybody was going to be bringing to the table in week 1 and being like, okay, then Malfurion's not entirely amazing, but it's going to be their first Malfurion of this series. They didn't have too much success with it in week 1, but we'll see how it does here.
And they also get the Vala out. So Zarya suddenly becomes an option for Sport Billy later on.
Yeah, yeah.
As you know, we know the combination between those two is great. Does beGenius ban out the Zarya to prevent that from occurring? And then playing Ducks same time, they got to be thinking about that Li Ming. Malfurion can do okay against Li Ming, especially when he gets to 13 as Icebox, so he can keep his heals on his teammates. But a slow rotation into resets could be something that beGenius can value heavily here. Also, you get Wave of Force against Maj Pit. So does playing Ducks go for a ban on the Li Ming?
That could be cool. I would like to see that probably. It will be the Zarya ban that you were theorizing before. I think that's a very good call. Now then my question is, does playing Ducks have a pocket Medivh that I'm not aware of? Which would be cool to see. So not as it's fine, actually. I was going to say not as good as, like, Brightwing Medivh, because Malfurion just has that more sustain, but Zeratul will be the ban, so I guess they're scared of the Zeratul.
Oh, that's true. I wouldn't favor a Li Ming over the Zeratul Jaina combo. And so if Li Ming did get banned out, that's suddenly 3rd and 4th slot. beGenius has that combo set up with the Ragnaros damage. Although it'd be heavy on damage, you would have to get a really strong front line.
Yeah.
Actually, yeah, they wouldn't be able to go there to hold Jaina. So interesting ban there from the playing Ducks. We'll have to ask them about that one. As beGenius now will select the slots they want. And honestly, I'm just trying to follow this draft to wrap my hand around what they're trying to go for, right?
Yeah.
I feel like if they are going Li Ming, they go it now, but do you suddenly have too weak of a backline? Does it really matter too much, as Ragnaros is still kind of tanky himself? But against a Vala, he could have a harder time. Because if you're going against other mages, if, like, say, playing Ducks picked up Li Ming, you can go for the spell shield at level 4, and then you're actually pretty tanky. But he also has the ability for Submerge. There's that Muradin, and now here is the moment of truth. beGenius is going to go for
Rhaegar.
I
will fight to my last breath.
What's last? All right, so let's see. Right. The Pocket Medivh that I really want would be cool, but I don't know if it's going to happen. Don't think it's going to happen. Double Warwick? Maybe a Leoric could be cool.
Yeah, they have their poke already with Malfurion and Vala for stopping tribute, so they have that slotted down. They have their engage for ETC. I would like to see a mage in the mix. Jaina could be the pickup. Although Jaina has a bit of a harder time against Muradin diving in and stopping the disruption, but we've seen already playing Ducks run it without having any crazy setup for them.
I mean, we say all this, but there's still False Start available.
It's true.
That if they want to have the control that it brings.
The problem with Falstad into Ragnaros is Ragnaros can almost one-shot Falstad, now that I think about it, which I think is why they're holding off on going for that decision, just because of how strong Ragnaros can be.
Yeah.
If you get a stun into a hit from Sophia's Magic, there's that Medivh. Good call, man.
Oh, that's cool. Because I didn't really expect them to bring it out, but I wanted them to bring it out, you know?
So who plays the Medivh on this team? Explosion will be on ETC.
I guess Sport Billy.
Sport Billy on Medivh?
Is he going to be the playmaker again?
Is he going to do it? And then you put Vala on Chris. Okay, we could see that happen here. So for the 5th pick, I want some control on this side here. They have totems, they have Muradin and kind of hold that front line, but they don't really have the strongest hold for if an engage happens by Medivh. Do you think maybe Diablo could work here? They go for the strong front line, just be who they are. Arthas could also be a thing. I think he's weaker for controlling portals, but I feel like Double Warrior would be the call for beGenius.
Yeah, I mean, Tychus and Ragnaros, they have damage in spades, right? Maybe a more damage-centric warrior. I wouldn't even mind an Artanis now that I look at it. But Diablo would probably be the go-to.
I feel like if they went for damage, they would have a really hard time with the deep portals into engage.
Yeah.
Okay, there's the Diablo for control. Good. Good to see, because if they went for a damage on that last pick, portal into Earthquake equals devastation. I think they need some kind of robust front line. But there we go. We now have our matches between teams just coming to you really quickly. Who wins it?
You said really quickly, and I can't think.
While you're thinking on it, I got a tweet here we're actually going to look at. So let's check out the tweet. What are you guys saying at home? BG Papa 78 passed on the single Windsor during the tie. What is this? We're watching pros. You can't be talking about my tie, man. All right, BJ Papa. Thank you so much for the draft face analysis on my tie. Thank you so much. Yeah. Next time I'll go for the bow tie. First pick, and then maybe we'll follow up into the belt second pick. Could go well for my wardrobe. Let's be real. Let's be real.
You said bow tie last time in your stream, and I was like, I don't know if I'll even let you.
I know. If I wear a bow tie, I'm bringing one in. We have to match. Like, straight up, dude. It'd be a great send-off. How awesome would it be, Clarice?
A great send-off for me
to
wear a bow tie.
Oh, they're bow tie brothers. That's so cool.
I have fat neck. It'll hurt.
Okay, so back to the draft question.
I would like to see a Game 5, but I don't think it's going to happen. I think that playing Ducks, bringing out a Medivh, I think they must have a plan going in. So they had to anticipate it, so I think that they'll make this Medivh work.
I will say I really like the Diablo pick here. I think it puts us in a scenario where Kursalo and Medivh portals are going to be happening often, but they're in chokes, where Diablo can be the one to mess up the timing well enough to where they can secure a kill quickly.
Right.
But I think it does come down to Diablo. Let's find out. Game 4, Kursalo. This is HGC Europe. We're going to be having the playing Ducks take on the wonderful beGenius.
All right. So let's see how this is going to unfold here. Currently 2-1 up. We have to the left-hand side, it will be playing Ducks with Wolf Joe going to be playing the Malfurion. Chrisplosion is on the ETC spot. Billy going to be on Medivh. We have Chris on the Valor. And finally, Nande will be on Thrall.
On the far right, beGenius in the red. Erikine pulling out the Ragnaros here. He will be the Fire Lord for his team. Here in the middle, Danatan on the Muradin. We also have Tychus here for Kirwa, the main damage dealer for the team. A tank for the win will play Diablo, and here on your screen, there is Unstable with the Rhaegar.
All right, so no huge fights going on down up towards the middle. It just will be a separation off to each of the lanes from Diablo as well as Ragnaros. So a slow start here to this. Obviously, Erikine on that Ragnaros just wants to try and get, stacks going as quickly as possible with his Q. Just get that stacking on up for Sulfurous Empowerment.
Medivh heads up to the top right to deal with that. Ooh. As you want to really try and slow down that Q from finishing. Obviously, Unstable here in the middle. Rhaegar is actually a very solid, strong middle laner, so this isn't actually very weird to see Rhaegar pushing in so heavily. But Danatan is also set up for the engage. But with Sport Billy being that pesky Medivh, he scouts him out.
So this is interesting. So they banned out Teriel to start off, limiting boss control from their opponents, and then Valor has gone Monster Hunter. So maybe they are putting more focus here on towards those camps, on towards maybe bosses later on. And, well, there is a rotation going on here, but we had Medivh scouting out all of this, so nobody should die. Oh, Medivh saw this coming. No! Oh, there you go.
Unfortunate Wolfjaw gets picked off. And, yeah, just to talk more about that ball of that pick there.
Yeah.
On the Minion Mercies, does 150% more damage from the Hungering Arrow. So now they have a chance to race down bosses. And the thing is, they actually have the control here with the Medivh to use Leyline Seal. They also have Earthquake, and they'll have ETC, who I presume will go Mosh Pit. So they can actually handle these types of rushes on the bosses. This is going to be cool to watch. Will it work out? I actually don't know. I haven't seen Avala go this build. I'm assuming she's going to fall up into more Hungering Arrows and see how well it goes.
Yeah, it's like in Europe, it's mostly you use this build on Battlefield of Eternity. Then you get the reset at 7, you drop in those 2 Hungering Arrows, and then it does big damage. Like, I think towards like, the later stages of the game, you can get like 3,000 damage out of 2 Hungering Arrows on towards an Immortal.
Yeah.
So it's powerful there. Don't see it too much on other maps. So excited.
Okay, well, we'll see how it shakes out as the bosses will be spawning within the next few minutes, and then we'll see if there will be an immediate rush there from the playing Ducks. Like, obviously, it comes down to where tributes spawn and how beGenius responds to it. And hopefully they keep an eye on those talents, because a snuck boss could be a big deal for this team. And again, Medivh can be the one to really just scout out where beGenius is at, which gives playing Ducks the tools to actually go for the boss rushes. First tribute here in the bottom left works out for playing Ducks. as they'll have pressure on the top lane from the mercenary camp, and Diablo is forced to defend it.
Attempting to zone them out, dropping a portal here so that it can be aggressive, and it looks like they're just going to use Molten Core to poke away at this, buying some time, allow for that portal to dissipate, which limits some of the options here for playing Dux, and then from that point on they can all rotate in here to try and get some more delay.
Danton set up for a Stormbolt into an engage if you would like, while Medivh went in the middle lane to soak the experience that was naturally pushing. And now, with Medivh coming back to the fight, WolfJoe will start the channel. Chris goes in for the block on the Stormbolt, but not enough there, as Ragnaros was able to come in and stop WolfJoe from channeling. Finally, though, the Playing Ducks walk away with a 1-0 lead here in the tribute grab.
And that will be all right, as Medivh is going to head up towards the top, soak up some of that Diablo is pushing quite nicely. So level 7 will hit for them in just a moment. And I was thinking maybe they would just use this as really always hitting the timers on the camps. So they got the easy camp up towards the top, but the hard camp's been up for a little while because I guess they had to wrestle against the Tribute. But I mean, it doesn't do much faster for them currently because level 7, that gives a bit of a power spike to this build because then you get double the damage, I suppose, is the best way to describe it.
And that's compounded also by the Malfurion Innervates that gives a cooldown reduction. Suddenly you can have 3 Hungering Arrows out.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're going to watch Playing Ducks to see when they're going to go for this boss race. We'll constantly keep an eye on Vala and her positioning.
That's a good point. I always forget about Innervate and its cooldown reduction.
It's crazy. It's very good for mage builds. Leaning, Jaina's, your Vala now at the Hungering Arrow just really helps out for getting that damage out. Sport Billy going for the harass here, already starting to build those Master Touch. Erikine in trouble once again on that Ragnaros, and he has had a poor day on that hero. Now, more engages concurring. Once again, Nande looking for maybe more on the fight. Portal reduction, just waiting for Sport Billy to get into the engage that he would like.
A great challenge from them. And again, Sport Billy just finding these positions to not only put his opponent on edge, but then finding extra Master Touch stacks here and there. So he's about a quarter of the way through that currently, just to keep you updated on that. As for now, Sport Billy scouting out towards the top. Where's Vala going? Okay, no, they're just going to soak. I thought they were maybe going to go down for boss there with
every time they walk by that boss, like tense up a little bit, because I want to see it happen in a pro game. I want to see them just race down a boss. I want to know if they can even do it with just 2 members. Can Malfurion and Vala actually burn down a boss? And I don't know.
Maybe. There's a lot of healing to come from Malfurion, of course. Is it the level 4 talent that gives health back, or am I?
I think that's actually the level 7 talent, if I remember correctly, or is it the 13? It's not in the first couple of stages.
Oh, it's just damage.
Yeah, okay. It's just the damage because if you hit heroes, it procs up by a certain amount, and then from there you can start burning down opponents. So we'll see if they will get the healing talent later on in the game. So Chris down here in the bottom left, going to be dealing with a 3-lane pressure. There will be a setup in the favor of Playing Ducks, but beGenius has done a better job soaking as they're about to get level 10.
Yeah, get the kill as quickly as possible. No. Oh, they actually managed to. What?
They stuck it. WolfJoe was able to get it. Danton was focused on Chris Explosions with the Vala moving in. Didn't see WolfJoe grabbing the tribute. After he used a Stormbolt, he couldn't actually dive in and stop it from occurring, and the Playing Ducks will get the curse here for what seems like free.
Yeah, that was kind of pivotal, really, because they could have lost that fight very easily. There was like a 10-second window for them to grab that, unless, on the other case, they would end up going up against Heroics. So for now, beGenius with their Heroics, they're kind of cordoning off a lot of Playing Ducks' potential to actually exploit this curse. Just a bit of damage here and there.
Yeah, that is the good news about them giving the curse up, is that really Playing Ducks can't make too much of a play because beGenius could go for an engage with level 10 Heroics. Now with Playing Ducks hitting their own 10, they start the fight. Nande actually doing work here on Diablo, breaking him down to less than a quarter health. At the same time, Ragnar was picked off in the bottom right by the portal engage, and Erikine once again dies.
Sports Billy now thinking with portals. Well played, my friend. As we'll see him just retreat on back towards these forts, do some damage here and there.
Is it time? Is it time for the boss?
Is it time?
It's time for the boss.
Oh, here we go.
Chris starts chunking it down.
Look at
his Hungering Arrows working in. He's also getting the stutter step going like crazy. The Innervate on Chris as well will help out with these Qs.
They realize.
Yeah, they're going to start moving in. Maybe no, they grab their own boss in the top right. Now, Medivh should sniff this out. Problem is, no leyline seal for another 40 seconds, but maybe he'll be enough of a hindrance here where beGenius doesn't go for it. No, they connect, and they will just stay on top of the boss. Good call by them.
I mean, and that's a theme for this game that's been building throughout the entire game. They knew that eventually Playing Ducks were going to try and race that boss and then get up there as quickly as possible with a little bit more control, again, off the side of things like leyline seal, etc. So for beGenius to react in the way they did, very, very good call from them.
Yeah, very orchestrated. And Tank stays on the top, gets a few more souls, gets the boss pushing to that fort. And for the most part, beGenius has a solid defense here. I think the main call here for Playing Ducks is to put enough pressure into where Arakeen actually uses his Molten Core, and then you retreat away from the fight. Just get that cooldown down. Oh, Danatan at the top left, almost get jumped on, but the immediate response will allow for him to pounce away from that fight.
Yeah, he didn't realize that there was a scouting drone keeping tabs on his movement there. So a nice attempt there from Sport Billy and the boys. I wouldn't have even minded Valor actually defending the boss up to the top left. I think maybe the fort would just die anyway. Would he have done enough damage?
I think the fort would have been taken anyways. At that point, it's actually worth the trade just to give up the fort and keep wall, because that gives you the keep big skill later on if you have another boss, which with this build you should be able to.
Ooh.
Sport Billy does use his leyline seal in the bottom right, just because Muradin was flanking around and looking to an engage. So the call there to use it heroic was worth it for him. However, that does open up the aggressive play here from beGenius. They go over and steal away the mercenary camps from the Playing Ducks.
All right, so now, just heading on down. Yeah, that level 13 play was nice. And it's very, very clear now that every single time they think to themselves, okay, our opponents are probably backing off to do a camp, it's probably almost always valuable to go and try and invade, because Valor doesn't have as much team fight ability with this build, but that's what she's banking on, the fact that it's going to be fast camps. So beGenius could continue to try and invade those.
The poke starts to occur for our team. Sports Billy throws on the portal, but Tank for the win. Watch Diablo. He's the one who's watching this possible engage from the team. Chris still working in those Hungering Arrows there. Now we'll be able to start applying some more damage as well. And he's also getting that quest done. That quest is actually almost finished up, about 3/4 of the way. And he also did get Siphoning Arrow, that talent you were mentioning earlier here, which does give him that life steal.
Yeah, it's very, very useful, and that's going to be quite a bit of damage done there. Also, the leyline seal's already come out. Can they exploit from that point on? Danatan will get away. That's going to be Apocalypse. Earthquake to stop them from even encroaching onto the territory there, whilst the Tranquility is active and good to go. Tank for the win, taking quite a bit of damage.
Continue poke from Sport Billy in the top right, just trying to slow down the entire push here, but Rhaegar's in a great spot here to keep up with those heals constantly, especially with him getting healing wards in the mix at the same time. Ragnaros, again, just continue this delay on the tribute. All the Playing Ducks are forced to dance around and try and slow down the push, but while at the same time trying to take any damage.
And this is kind of the sacrifice for Playing Ducks again. You know, Valor, we see her as an extremely strong team fighter when she's going for that auto-attack multi-shot build, but in this sense, she loses a little bit of that power. She has more sustain for herself because of that Siphoning Arrow at 13, but they have managed to push them away. So very good stuff here by Playing Ducks.
With Chris Explosion going for the aggressive posture, beGenius goes ahead and pulls away. And one tribute into the favor of the Playing Ducks. They do go for an engage here, Rain of Vengeance follow-up, and there's a dead Muradin, which you don't say too often.
No.
But with the coordination from the team, they get it.
He died fast. So even without that little bit of extra power from a normal Valor build, still died fast.
Well, the main damage dealer was Thrall, because he hit 13. That giant killer can be impactful and really took him out, especially without the Muradin avatar being available. Diablo gets focused down as well here. And Playing Ducks are starting to make some plays. Yeah,
what a great portal play there from Sport Billy and the rest of the team here to just steal that, go across, put pressure on. And that's all of this is opened up vastly by the fact that the level 13 talent for Medivh reduces the cooldown of that portal significantly. So you take the duration at level 1, you take the cooldown reduction at level 13, you can always have portals available to you to be so active across huge areas and make really good moves.
Well, at the same time, someone knows that bosses are up in the next 30 seconds. Muradin is going to be focused. He will pop his avatar state here, getting low on HP. Tyke is continuing the chase, but Sport Billy with the portals will just keep kiting.
See, well, Chris is just going to move away as well. Danatan half health currently. Getting healed up and good to go. Channeling this, an attempt here, a great little push on towards him. But that grab, I think, saved him. I think Diablo just saved Sport Billy.
Yeah, you normally want to throw him over and just hold him in the scenario. Arakeen went for the follow-up combo of the Sapphire Smash, and that was not the fault of Arakeen. Diablo going for the flip, unfortunately, just not working out for the team. And Sport Billy, with a sigh of relief, will live through that engage.
It's not even like he has domination at 16, because he's not at 16, so... and Quest, the Master's Touch has just completed indeed. So it's not like he could even have a second Shadow Charge. So a misplay there on the side of beGenius could have taken themselves a free Medivh.
Yeah, definitely costing them. And now with the boss being looked at by the red team, beGenius, Playing Ducks makes their move to move on over. They have the tools to actually go into this boss here with the Earthquake and the Leyline Seal if their opponents did start it up. At the same time, this Fort is taking some damage as well at the same time. Tank for the win will be able to hold it, but that is a move towards level 16. Now, they have put ETC and Medivh both up here in the top right corner, while the other three members are focusing down the boss in the bottom left. And with Crystplosion showing up, beGenius stops the damage on the boss, which could buy enough time here for Playing Ducks to move up.
All right, so you saw that they let Valor start rotating instantly compared to the other two that were capturing, because they know that Valor here can really cause a few issues when it comes to that boss, I suppose. Actually, now that I think about it, everything I just said was lie. It doesn't really matter. So
the Leyline Seal steal, did he get it?
Oh my God!
Actually got it. He just dumped Lazuna, and there's the major 5-man moshpit. Wolf Joe going in as well. Diablo Apocalypse here at the same time, but Diamond Skins, now known as the Playing Ducks, keep up their aggression here. Thrall working damage on Diablo, and Sport Billy continues this trend of making plays.
Oh my God! Let's just marvel. Let's watch that again, because this boss is going to push on, but hopefully we can just get to that very, very quickly and take a look. Sport Billy waiting in the wings. The perfect Leyline Seal, the perfect steal, the perfect mosh pit.
The perfect cleanse by Wolf Joe, by the way, to allow the mosh pit to continue emergence like la-dee-dee-da. I'm walking into a mosh pit and I want to join the dance party. Holy macaroni!
This
Keep in trouble as well. Can they win here?
Yeah, they can win. They can win from this position here as they get murdered. Danaton needs to stay alive. Oh my God, and he falls. This boss is at full health. I can't believe what we just saw.
Two bosses pushing in, one in the top left, the other one just killed a Keep. They just do not have to die here, and they can go for the win. Chris keeping up with the aggression, and there's another member falling. The Diablo not here for 40 seconds. There are two bosses on the core with an entire curse here. This is going to be game. Playing Ducks will win the series 3-1. Kalaris, what just happened?
Unbelievable. Like, just mind-blowing to watch. All right, so I'm going to be critical here. When it comes to the European scene, a lot of people, I think, throughout 2016 saw Sports Billy as a relatively average player, you know, at the top tier, not like average in terms of like, you know, platinum, diamond, lol. I mean, like actually like average at the top tier. But he has cemented himself in this series as absolute MVP for this series. That was a brilliant play.
That was outstanding. His fall stat, his Medivh, nailing the Leyline Seal, which is something people are aware about. You need to spread out because there is just a direct line that's going to be occurring there, so you just need to make sure you sidestep it and then move in. He hits 3 members with it. Tychus was out of range there for it actually to move in for the follow-up. And then I love the Crystplosion power slide into the Wolf Joe cleanse to secure the entire play there. But Sport Billy set that all up.
Well, I've got a surprise for you. Because, of course, Sport Billy coming in as a replacement for this team. Let's take a look at some of his highlights from that series, because that was just a masterclass there. Sport Billy making magic happen, not only from the gusts to even just one-on-one situations where we had them reinforcing this fight alone. We saw some crazy kind of back and forth between the teams. And it continues on. He'll fly in here, get the gust, push them all in. didn't quite secure himself kills, but every single Gus we saw, play by play, he was able to really make things happen.
Yeah, and he was steering on the outskirts the entire time with Wolfshow coming in on the Bright Wing. They eventually started to win this team fight.
Ow.
A situation that you felt like they would have lost. This pickoff on the Li Ming against the wall with the teammate showing up just in time to finish the kill. Sports Billy just continued time after time again.
And that's game sense. That was relatively blind. Hacker actually had a little bit of vision on some end, but here we go. This is the pièce de résistance. That is exactly what you need there, Sport Billy. And just everybody synergized together there to make that an absolute, the cherry on the cake. Absolutely, because of the mosh pit, because of the cleanse. Playing Ducks, what a performance there in that last situation.
What a performance, man. I am just absolutely impressed with what we just saw from the Playing Ducks and Sports Billy really being one of the leaders for this team. And it's cool to see that. Someone that wasn't here 2 weeks ago is now being empowered by his team to be the guy, the one that really brings it in. Guys, more games are coming your way. North America is coming up next, casted by Gillyweed and Dread. So let's see what matches you'll be watching today during the matches in the afternoon. So Tempo Storm will be taking on Team Freedom. No Tomorrow and Superstars will be facing off. Obviously, if you haven't seen the matches and you're just joining us, check out the series. Team Doomtoss won with a 3-0 over Synergy. Now, while it is a 3-0, it was actually closer than you would think, so make sure you check it out. And then, obviously, check out the series that we just watched, man, with the wonderful Playing Ducks. Gosh, that name is a name that is going to be making a splash here in the HGC, taking on beGenius, winning with a 3-1.
Ducks making a splash. I love it.
We got it. Some small things. Some small things happening. Hey!
I like it a lot. But so far, here from HGC Europe, there's not been a single series I've been disappointed with. Occasionally when you're casting tournaments and stuff like that, it's like, okay, you've got your top 8 or whatever. Some of the games here or there, it's like, meh, who cares? HGC Europe has turned up.
Yeah.
For 2017, so excited for the days to come.
Yeah, gotta agree with you. All top 8 teams just showing the depth that is here in Europe, and we get to watch it every single weekend. We got 2 more days this week. We got 3 more weeks before the next clash, so if you guys are enjoying the show, make sure to keep showing up here every single weekend, and we'll be here showing you the matches. So also something to know is that we are working on a Skype interview with Chris Explosion. If we can get him, we will let you know, and we'll ask him about that play at the end. I think that's what we have to open up with, because that was just an incredible moment.
Yeah.
I just want to know what the comms were like. Were they calm? Did they know they had the game in the bag, or were they just yelling, hit your buttons, we got to win here?
Yeah, I mean, the things like that are a line between like insanity and genius, right? For Sport Billy to make that ley line seal happen, that means that everyone has to line up. Like for him to, he doesn't want the seas to part. All of a sudden, one member goes off, and then it starts threatening him on the spot. But
it takes guts too. You're facing off against Diablo.
Yes,
Asmodee, in a spot where he literally stood still for a second and a half, showing that he was going to drop down the ley line seal. And Diablo did go for the engage, but the ley line seal connected first. That takes guts, man. At the same time, I think they had a backup plan if it didn't work out. We saw Vala already on the tribute, starting the curse. So even if Sport Billy did sacrifice his life there, they still had a scenario where they had a boss pushing the bottom lane, and they could take the entire risk and run with it. So it was a calculated risk that just paid off. I mean, incredibly.
Yeah, even I think beyond just a calculated risk, you could see the theme in Playing Ducks' game there in Game 4. The build on Valor, all about boss control or mercenary control, being able to take them very fast and then being able to rotate. The ban on Tyrael, being able to control that as well. Yeah. The pick of Medivh, which kind of enables Valor, but in different senses when it's a normal build, considering Zarya was banned, Tassadar obviously banned, because who doesn't ban Tassadar at this point? So what a... Just from draft to execution to the plays, oh god, it was beautiful.
And it's got to feel good for the Playing Ducks too. They came in last week, went down 0-1 against Trick Esports, and now they have their 1-1 tie-up in the standings, which can be great for them, having the ability to really be able to handle, that they lost someone. Quick call out. It looks like we won't be having a Skype call, unfortunately, so we'll talk to them another time, as we're not quite able to communicate with them. But again, kudos to you guys at home, Playful Ducks. If you're watching, wonderful job. Playing Ducks, man, just absolutely pulling that through. So, really quickly, let's go ahead and look at our standings. Team Expert and Misfits will be at the top of the mountain for HGC Europe. Fnatic 1-1. Team Dignitas 1-1 right now. Synergy 1-1 as well. And as we go to the bottom parts of the place here, Playing Ducks 1-1 and beGenius and Tricks Esport will be tying it out 0-2. And from what I'm hearing, we may have had a slight audible here. Chrisplosion, do we hear you?
Yeah.
Oh my God, he can hear us. We got him on the line, guys. Yes. First off, let's just get it done, man. You and your team, Sports Billy, making the incredible play at the end there. What was going through your minds? What were the call-outs? Did you expect to actually get that boss?
Yeah, well, we knew we can get it with Midi for sure, but we didn't expect, like, that they would stack like that we can get the 5-man mosh pit on top of that. We didn't expect that at all. We knew we have Curse, we had our boss, so we didn't really need that boss, but yeah, it was really nice. Well played, Billy.
It's very rare that you actually get to see that Valor build on that map. Was your plan going into Cursed Hollow a lot about mercenary control and bosses, etc.? It's not the normal way we see that map play out, I suppose.
Well, it is more about the team fights. We wanted to peel more, so we didn't really need the auto attacks. We want to step back, place for support hold, so taking camps meanwhile and taking the boss with Medivh is pretty good, so that was the plan behind it.
Okay.
Awesome. Well, I want to ask you about your team. When we brought you guys out to the HGC Summit, talking to your team, it was all about growing and really becoming a better team and constantly pushing your guys to the limits. How is the team synergy? How is the setback, as most would say, taking a new player at the last second working out for you?
Yeah, well, you saw it in the first game. We still have some troubles. We have to work on it. There is not like full synergy yet, but we're working really hard on it. And I think we have the potential, but we have to work hard on it to reach what we want actually. And there's still a lot of space to improve.
My final question is, beyond the big three of Fnatic, Dignitas, and Misfits, of course, is there anybody else you're fearful of, or do you think that you can, are you in challenge for that down the line? What are your impressions?
Oh, well, it's pretty hard to say. Like, right now, like, if I compare scrims to the tournament players, everything is a bit different. I thought, like, Trick Esports would be really sick, but they lost against Expert as well, so it's really hard to say, but I think, like, this is the matchup we're looking forward to beat Trick Esports.
Okay. So, Trick Esports, what's so great about Trick Esports that you think is going to really make it a hard matchup?
I think the meta is, like, really fitting them. Like, with Eternal, like, the melee assess and stuff, like, this is what they need, like, Rama is a good flex player, so like the meta is really fitting them.
Gotcha. And is the meta working out for you guys, or is it more of just you're trying to feel it out? I'm starting to get into the deep thoughts here of Chrisplosion and the team.
Yeah, well, we figured out right now. Like you said, Sportspeed is new to the team. We're testing a lot of comms, and we didn't have our final meta find out right now. But yeah, we will see in the future.
I got a question for you. Do you think Falstad's going to be banned out against you guys in the future? Because Sports Billy was going off on that Falstad.
Yeah, maybe. Hopefully not. But I think we don't need only Falstad. He's really good on other heroes as well. So our team comps are not based on Falstad, so it's fine if they ban it out.
Cool.
Then we get good other stuff.
Well, awesome to hear from you, Chrisplosion. Thank you so much for your time, and congratulations, man. Good luck in your next matches. All right.
I give a short?
Go ahead, shout it out. Let's do it. Let's hear it.
Okay. Thank you very much. First, thanks to my team. Thanks for carrying me. Thanks for being crying for a sponsor. Thanks for blessing on Twitter, Wolf Joe Hots, Nanda Hots, Sports Billy Hots, Chris Heroes, and Chrisplosion. Thank you very much.
Awesome. Thank you, Chrisplosion. Now, for you at home, we got more matches coming for you later on this weekend. Let's check out what we're going to be watching tomorrow, as, of course, we have two fantastic matches to watch. Team Dignitas versus Trick Esport. Caleros, you should be excited for that one, one of your teams that you are cheering for. Misfits and Playing Ducks will also be popping up there. And, of course, North America, which will be covered later on by Gillyweed and Dread. But HGC Europe is continuing, and it will constantly be happening here on this channel. Be here tomorrow at 9 a.m. Pacific Standard and 6 p.m. CET for more awesome high-level Heroes of the Storm. What match are you looking forward to, man?
Let me think. Team Dignitas versus Trick Esport. I mean, I know you say that my Brit boys are in there, and that's for sure, but, I think they're both good matches. Misfits, I think, is probably going to try and assert their dominance here in the HGC Europe and look to push themselves onto a 3-0, which I wouldn't be surprised if does happen, but we've seen some plays here from today from Playing Ducks that could throw some spanners in there.
Gotta agree with you, man. Well, HGC Europe is finishing up here. We'll have the North America session showing up relatively soon. We'll see you guys later.
Fresh meat.
Everything that I do in my life is working towards getting on to the big stage of video gaming.
I don't want to get second place this year. Like, I'm going for first. I won't be happy unless we win.
My name is Andrew Rodriguez, and I go to University of Texas at Arlington.
Daniel Lee, and I go to University of Connecticut.
My name is David Young, and I go to school at University of Tennessee, Knoxville.
My name is Michael Udall, and I go to ASU.
Heroes of the Dorm is an amateur tournament focused on college teams, playing not for prize money, but for tuition.
This is my first year competing in Heroes of the Dorm. Gaming at first was just a hobby, but now it's kind of evolved into part of my life.
I grew up in Mesa, Arizona. Gaming was definitely frowned upon.
I would think, gee, what a waste of time. You guys ought to be studying algebra or anything worthwhile.
My parents used to hate when I played, but now they're like, this is so cool, you're going to Seattle for playing a video game.
Hello and welcome to the Heroes of the Dorm Heroic Four. Here in the beautiful Pacific Northwest, 4 college teams have come to battle it out. We started over a month ago, and now we have Tennessee, UT Arlington, UConn, and Arizona State.
We all felt really good after the win, but we came here to win the whole thing, so the work's not over yet.
You don't reach that level without the dedication and the focus and the endless hours honing your craft.
It's going to take a determination and discipline, just like succeeding in anything in life.
It's intense. That's the best way to put it. Until you play the game and try to excel at it, you have no idea.
An outlet like that where students come together and share the same interests. That's what it's all about.
This was the future of esports that we imagined.
Taking a lot of damage, he blows up in a matter of seconds. Shot low on HP, but the boy with another bump. They are going for the core. They're going to be able to save it in time, and it goes down.